to like talk to you about, because I know that this is like your wheelhouse about being authentic to who you are. What is like some advice that you would give, or what could you tell somebody like me who's a new mom who is trying to live authentically, but also not just for myself, but also so that I can be a good example for my daughter now?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. What I notice across the board with like new moms is I'll see like blue or indigo on them, even if they're not a blue or indigo aura color authentically. Like I'll see that on them. And if you're already that aura color, I'll see it like thickened or more.
Yeah.
And that those colors mean feeling others' feelings the same as your own. Which when you're a new mom, and nobody talks about this, but this is like how that's how you talk to your baby. There's no words. So you have to go into their energy wavelengths, their thoughts, their feelings, like, you know, all the things that aren't articulated. You're on a whole level with your baby and its energy. So, and I really feel like after a baby that just gets amplified, and it's a wonderful gift, because that's why you know your baby better than anyone else. You know something's off, something, you know, and
Yeah.
anytime, yeah, that's energy speaking. You're just in their vibe and they're in your vibe, so they react off of you and you react off of them. So but that's a great thing. The bad thing is you feel like a complete flippin' puddle of I don't know what. Like you're just walking around like a borderless, mushy droplet of water, like all the time. And I think like when that happens, and we all go through it differently, like the other sides of us can take over. So if you tend, you know, I think it amplifies certain personality characteristics. So if you already have anxiety, it's going to get worse. Or if you're already a perfectionist, it's going to get worse.
Me.
Or you're already like hard on yourself, that's going to get 10 times worse in your head. Too. Yeah, like so anything that's just always kind of been one of your struggles in life, it's going to get amplified and I think that especially the first 3 or 4 months, it's just like understanding like, okay, I'm this way for a purpose right now. There's a reason why I'm feeling so emotional. There's a lot of good things that are coming with it. And like, we have to stay away from toxic positivity. There's a lot of things out there like, oh, you should be grateful, or you should be blessed.
Yes, and you feel guilty.
Oh,
yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's right. Okay, I haven't slept in like 12 hours or taken a shower in 3 days, but I'm blessed and I'm great. And of course you are, but you have to have space to feel your feelings. And that's part of it. So you got to stay away from like situations or just society in general. It's like, oh, isn't it wonderful? Isn't this the best time of your life? Isn't this, it can make you feel worse about it. Like, oh, I shouldn't feel sad, or I shouldn't feel this. So I think just having like an honest approach to it, like, okay, these are all parts of it, the good and the bad, it's all parts, and embracing the experience for what it is. But yeah, I will across the board, I always see blue or like major indigo all over new moms, and it's just a lot of overwhelm.
I think that's something that I see a lot on social media, and that makes it hard to share so much, is that when you do, I don't want to say complain, but when you express those feelings of frustration or of tired or of confusion, you get a lot of people who are like, well, you should be grateful and don't forget you're so lucky. But I didn't forget. You know, but I'm still allowed to feel these emotions. It's not always going to be positive. And I feel like society makes it so hard for moms to express those feelings, because you're supposed to be thankful the whole time. You're supposed to be, you know, in heaven. And you do feel that, but you also should be allowed to vent and ask for help and say, I'm going through a rough time or whatever. And I think that's hard on moms too, is you feel like sometimes you can ask for help because you don't want to show that weakness, or you don't want to show, you know, I don't know. I need somebody now.
Yeah, no, you do. And I think like our culture too, it's, I think in our own personal, like American culture or whatever, it's a lot of like, you have to be self-sufficient, and like you see other cultures and it's like people help each other more. And that, I think that's what moms need, and we don't always have that. So we have to create our own communities for that. Like, you know what, I just need somebody to talk to without judgment, or, you know, just people come over and help out. Like go take a nap, go take a shower. Somebody's coming over. You don't have to sit there and make tea and be polite, you know, and the right people will understand that. And yeah, but it's hard because I went through, and I think that's like with a lot of, you know, I had postpartum depression after my first one, and I felt like a crazy person. Like I felt completely nuts. And there were just, I think a lot of people try to give you their experiences, and that
Mhm.
doesn't help either. So they'll give you things that happen to them, or well, this is my experience, or that's just the blues, or things like that. And it's like, it diminishes your experiences. So
Yeah.
I think as moms helping other moms, it's good to give your experience, but it's also good to like validate what, you know, your new mom friend is going through, and
Mhm.
listen to them as their own, you know, and not give advice, you know what I mean, as yourself. Like, you listen to them.
Yeah.
So I think like we just need, like you said, just a place to vent and listen and not have like the toxic positivity, like, oh, good vibes only, or, you know,
Mhm.
look at the bright side. That doesn't help.
They're good intentions, but sometimes it can
Oh yeah.
do the opposite. Do you see 2021 being just having better energy than 2020 did?
You know what it is?
Is it going to be a better time?
It's really, I mean, we wake up tomorrow, it's the same day. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
true.
it's not like the pandemic is still here. You know, here's what I think with this. I feel like this year we're all flipping over it. I think we're over false pretenses, people saying one thing and being something else. I think we want people to just be themselves. Like, if you have a fault, wear it. I think this year, when I talk about energetically responsible, I feel like we're all wanting that from the relationships around us. People who are energetically responsible, they're owning their energy. We're holding each other accountable. So I feel like more authenticity for 2021. That's what I feel like. We're going to see it in like social media and like Hollywood, because that's always where it trickles down from.
Yeah.
And I feel like us ourselves are going to be more embracing of that. So slightly better.
That's good. That's a good start. That's a great thing. But really quick, your podcast.
Know Your Aura with Mystic Michaela, and you can find me on Instagram at Mystic Michaela.
Yes, and it's